Franklin.
When I was paired up to evaluate you, my first thought was, you are such a great speaker. I'm going to be struggling to find things to talk about. And that's, to an extent, what I'm seeing. But speaking with you this morning, you mentioned that you've had a pretty busy week, maybe not had as much time to prepare as you maybe wanted to. And you said that you wanted to really focus on eye contact and movement, and just kind of controlling how much you're moving around and making it not be so distractive. I want to ask you a question about that. How do you think you did?
I think on eye contact I was fine. The horseshoe just gets me every time.
Yeah.
And that's what we saw. There was a lot of pacing. You would get up here in the middle of the room as you're making a point. And a lot of times what I would see is you would start back here, you get really engrossed and really excited about a point, and you find yourself out here in the middle of the room. How do you get back? You're backing up. That in itself, I don't think is a problem. That's good to realize, okay, I need to move back. But what I'm wondering is, since you like to move out to the front of the room or into the middle of the room so much, what about if you start building that into your speeches? And when you find yourself out in the middle of the room, find a creative way to kind of move back, incorporate some intentional movement into your speech. And as I was thinking about that, some ideas that just came to mind immediately were, if you find yourself out in the middle of the room, turn and address the group, kind of make an arc or a quick arc and come back instead of just backing up. I know that directs you away from the camera, so maybe it's hard for the camera and for the audience to speak, but just incorporating that movement in. And that's really what I would challenge you for with this next speech, is find a way to kind of start incorporating that in. I think having this movement back and forth is not a bad thing. It's just your speaking style is to move. And that's what I would recommend, what I would really challenge you to do. For the rest of your speech, your eye contact was great. You did a lot of looking around. Incorporating eye contact into your movement might help you kind of control and make that feel a little bit more organic. One thing that you're really strong at is using hand gestures. You get excited and you get into a point, and your hand gestures really drive that point home. And that's a strength of yours. And keep that up, because that is a great aspect to your speaking ability. So beyond that, just figuring out how to incorporate that movement in is really the only advice and guidance I can provide with you on this one. So, thank you.